What is up guys, my name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we're gonna play Nasus, and Nasus is a really fun top laner. Let's see, I think we're gonna buy this. He's a really fun top laner, and actually a top laner that in my experience you can pretty easily hard carry with. If you know how to play him, you can do very consistently. You can perform very consistently on him, and you can really hard carry. So the whole idea behind playing Nasus is that you want to stack up your Q ability. First of all, I'll just very quickly go through Nasus' abilities. We'll talk a bit about how you need to play him, and yeah. This game's going to be pretty interesting because we are going to play against a Cassiopeia. I think that's how you pronounce the name, in top lane. So it's going to be a little annoying because she's definitely going to poke the hell out of us, but we'll do our very best. So Nasus' passive is basically just some passive lifesteal that he has all the time. Basically think of it as having a Vampiric Scepter always. That's kind of what it is. I think the lifesteal is 12% if I remember correctly. Yes, yeah, bonus 12%. And back in time, I don't know if it still does that, but it got upgraded every 6th level to, I think it was 18% and then 24%. I'm not 100% sure whether or not it still does that. I guess we'll figure that out as we go along. But the first ability you want to go for is you want to go for your Q, and your Q is basically the whole idea behind Nasus. This is what's gonna make him viable, and this is what's really gonna make the ball roll, and you're gonna snowball really hard on this guy. So Nasus' Q is basically allows him for his next auto attack or his next attack. It empowers it to give some extra damage, and if it kills the target, then this attack gets empowered permanently. Meaning that if you kill a minion, one of the small ones here, that attack is gonna get, or you're gonna get a 3 stacks onto Siphon and Strike, as it's called, and these 3 stacks are 3 damage, which means that your Q ability is now empowered to do 3 damage more permanently. Bro. So yeah, it's a little hard for me to just gank at or make sure that we gank early game. Honestly, I don't really prefer having any ganks on Nasus in early game because I know how to play him defensively in such a way that once we hit around level 6, between level 6 and 8, depending on how things go, we'll be winning our lane easily by ourselves, and even 1v2ing if their jungler comes along. Siphoning Strike, basically it just empowers your attack permanently, which is super cool. So every time you kill a minion with it, you have to last hit it with it, so you see the gold pop up like this. Then it goes up by 3. If you do it on a big minion, meaning one of the cannon minions, then it's gonna go up by 12. So they are worth 4 times as much to last hit a cannon minion than a normal minion. With that said, if you last hit a champion with your Q, then it's gonna count the same as a large minion. So it's really bad when we miss those for a Q. We actually have to try and time them somewhat. It is a little difficult as I'm trying to explain. At the same time, I might make some pretty obvious mistakes, but I'll try to point them out for you guys so you don't do them. But all I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to stack up slowly, get as much farm as I can without getting punished. I chose to go for the Dorian shield here in the start to have that bit of sustain whenever she pokes me, and I'm just trying to stay out of her range as much as I possibly can. I know Lee is probably looking towards my lane. It's very common that junglers are gonna look at your lane because they know that once a Nasus gets started, it's pretty difficult to stop the snowballing process. But yeah, the Q ability stacks up, and that's what you want to go for. You really want to go for getting as many stacks as possible. I usually go for getting around 100 stacks just as I hit level 6 or just around there. So that's kind of the goal. Your W is a slow that you cast on champions. It's super nice. It just slows them, their movement speed down, and also slows their attack speed, meaning that it's a good thing to cast both when you're chasing somebody down, then use it to slow them so you can reach them, but also if you know a champion is going all in on you, then cast it before they get to you, such that you lower their attack speed. That's also going to be useful for you. So right here, I'm still just playing careful. I know I want to reach around 100 stacks before I take any fights, and we're getting close. Also, I would really like a back pretty soon, because we need some cooldown reduction. We need to get this as soon as possible, because the more cooldown reduction we get, the faster we can stack our Qs, and the more stacks we get, and the faster the ball is going to start rolling. So here I'm just going to tank these, doesn't really matter too much, just because I want all of the stacks. So we're going to take our time here, wait for the minion wave to come up, and there we go. And we're just going to keep doing this, and we have a good chunk of gold as well. Alright, so let's go on to the next ability. So your W, as I said, basically just slows your target and slows their attack speed. Your E, however, is the ability you want to level up secondly, or as your second spell to max, because what it does is basically that it gives some first a burst of damage once you put it on the ground underneath the target, but it also reduces their armor by a percentage, which is really, really nice, especially if you're playing against some tanks or anything like that. Then that's going to be very, very useful for you. So right here, I think we're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pop my ult. I'm actually not even going for her. But we might do it though. And she's gonna use her ult, and I don't actually want this fight. All I'm doing is actually just, I wanted to use my ult here to get a few stacks off and maybe get some of her cooldowns, because all I want to do right now is I want to back. So might as well just fire off my cooldowns, see if I can get a few extra stacks, because what happens with my ult, and let me just explain the ult and why I did this. Your ult, first and foremost, gives you some extra armor, it gives you extra, I think it gives you some extra magic resistance as well, but most importantly, let's see, we need this first, that, we need potion. But most importantly, it actually reduces the cooldown of your Siphon Strike, meaning your Q, by half the amount. So this means that you can use it for reducing your cooldown on your Q momentarily. It's very important that when you use your ult, or when you want to engage with your ult, that you haven't fired off your Q just before attacking her or using it, because it of course won't reduce the cooldown of a Siphoning Strike already on cooldown. So you need to use your ult before firing off your next Siphoning Strike. So as you guys see, we're just slowly stacking up, we're making the ball roll. We're now at 150 stacks, and this is going to be very, very difficult for Cassiopeia. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. I'm really sorry if I slaughtered it. So right now, just taking a chill. I really want that big minion. It's gonna be another 12 stacks. And we're at 71 CS. We're definitely a little bit ahead now. She doesn't have a ton of mana. I'm just gonna poke her, show her who's the boss. I think we might actually just be able to kill her straight off bat here. That was not really the purpose. All right, there. Just gonna go for the flash play. Get it, that's another 12 stacks. Just because she's like a big minion, so that's gonna be that, and we're gonna go up here. Let's just ward up before we go anywhere. Thank you, buddy. Let's see, we're gonna put a control ward there. We need to remove this, and nice thing is that these ones, like the wards, actually give a stack as well. So that, as you guys see, they give a stack just like a minion would. So make sure that when you go down and remove wards, you might as well use your Q, just to finish the ward off. Gives you a stack. And that's what you need to remember all the time. What you want to go for is stacks. All the time think about, how do I get more stacks? So here, let's get the extra gold from the armor platings. And at this point, this Cassiopeia, it is so unlikely that she has any chance to come back into this game. At least against us. We're going to start building a little bit of magic resist soon enough, which will make everything just so much harder for her. Okay, so I'm gonna try and drag her into this bush. I'm just gonna go out. I don't want this fight right now. It's 15 seconds till my ult is ready, and then we'll just take it. I want that big minion. That's gonna be nice. We're at 200 stacks. We got a Warwick coming up behind, so I'm gonna throw a slow in there. He's slowed. Put down this one. Gonna give him decreased armor, and that's gonna be a last hit. There we go. Nice. Good job. We have some extra armor platings. And at this point, like, their jungler could be coming up here, and I would probably just be able to kill both Cassiopeia and their jungler at the same time. It is very likely that I will be able to beat both of them. I'm gonna see if this guy even tries. Whoop. Yeah, you're gonna regret that one, buddy. Okay, so he ulted me away. That was a good choice. And I actually leveled the wrong ability. This is just... it's because I played another champion earlier today. You're not supposed to level your W as your second ability. You're supposed to level your E. And the reason for this is that you want the armor reduction. You want that to increase, and also damage over time is pretty nice. Not gonna lie. But what you want to do is actually get the E upgraded for your... Whoop, let's get these. And I can just go over here. I can smash her a bit in the head. Just show her who's the beast. And I think for now we got 2.4k gold. I'm just gonna back. I'm actually just gonna go for a back. Just because I'm pretty low on mana, and we can pretty easily, once we get back up here, push everything. So let's go back. I'm gonna get myself... Let's see, what can we treat ourselves with? We need this. Then we're gonna upgrade into that one. And I think, should we go for... How much? They have a bit of AP. You know what? We'll go for Murderous Threats. I feel like that's a good choice in this game. So we definitely need some magic resistance in this game, because looking at their team, they have a Lux, they have a Katarina, and they have Cassiopeia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm still very sorry if I slaughtered that name. So at this point, we're doing very well. We started to build up a little bit of magic resistance. What my primary concern have been was to get this Glacial Shroud and the Shen. That's the two items you really, really want to rush on this champion. And the reason for this is actually that it gives you a good chunk of cooldown reduction. So I'm gonna pop my ult here, even though I don't really need it, just so I can stack up as well. I just want to get as many stacks as I can for late game. And we're going to be able to push in the rest of these armor platings, just as we predicted. So far, everything is going just according to plan. I see Warwick is getting chased. I honestly just want to get the last of this, and we'll go over and help him. Put him away here. And that's going to be a very nice kill. Nice, dude. And a good thing with Nasus, especially as you get these items, you guys are seeing that every time we use an ability on a target, we get a little bit of movement speed. And the reason for this is this item called Page. And you really, as you also finish with Trinity Force, this is what you want to do. If somebody's running away from you, you don't have your W to slow them down or anything. Then make sure as you run by a minion, you pop your Q and you just smash that one, get a free stack plus the movement speed such that you can reach them. But we are going to finish off our items pretty soon. Whoop. And then we're going to start rolling into, we want to get our Righteous Glory as well. That one is very easy or very useful, especially for hard carrying games, because it's gonna give you that it's kind of like that item is kind of like giving you the ability of Ghost. That's kind of what it does. It's pretty much similar. So this is gonna be another free kill, and I'm gonna make sure I have this on the ground, because whoop, and it's gonna be another one. Thank you. This guy doesn't run away. He's gonna run away. Okay, so as I said, yeah, we are totally capable of beating two people at once now, and we just keep stacking all the time. That's all we got to think about. Our goal right now is to reach at least around 600 stacks as we hit around 20 minutes. So we just got to keep the ball rolling. We can push this turret just a little bit. Actually, it's gonna tank just a tiny bit of that. It wasn't initially the purpose, but let's get some of these. Oh, I actually screwed up here. Oh, and she might be able to get us. All right, now we're getting out of there. All right, so mistakes were definitely made by me, but apparently we didn't get punished so bad. So we're gonna back off now. We have our TP ready, so we can actually just fire right back up to the ward we put here in order to keep the pressure on and just split push this game. So let's go for finishing our Trinity Force, and then we're gonna start finishing our Righteous Glory. So this one is definitely gonna help us out a lot, because that is, as I said, the item that is gonna allow us to, it has this usage to give us a lot of movement speed. So that's the really cool thing about that one. And you wanna make sure you pop this before. We can actually go under turret here, and she won't be able to do anything. Oh, anything about it. I almost died to turret. I actually died to turret. Mistakes were made, but I actually hit the turret once where I was supposed to hit her just because I misclicked. But doesn't really matter. Everything is as it's supposed to be. We're doing pretty fine. So as you guys see, just keep stacking. We're almost at 400 stacks. If we go up in our lane, we're gonna definitely be able to keep this ball rolling. And at this point in this game, I would say we're pretty much almost unstoppable. Like, looking at their team comp, they have nothing tanky, and all of them are pretty squishy. We will be able to kill basically every single person on their team in just about 2 to 3 siphoning strikes, which is nothing. It's gonna be, like, with ult up, that is a matter of barely 3 seconds. So, because right now our cooldown here without our ult up is 2.3 seconds, because we have cooldown reduction and we got this ability maxed up. With our ult, it's gonna be 1.15 or basically almost 1.15. And that means that we can throw out about 3 siphoning strikes in about 4.5 seconds. And whoop. And he just used everything there. And he's dead. Alright, some more people are coming up here. See if we can do some work. I'm probably gonna die here because we have the whole team here. But that's fair enough. They put all 5 people up there in order to get us down. And that just goes to show how much they need to do in order to get us down right now. We are a huge freaking threat to them. So we could do one or two things now. We can keep split pushing, and this time make sure that we keep a better eye onto the map. See where people moving. Do we need to fall back a little bit? Right now I've just been playing headless on. So we need to be a bit more aware of when we push, if there's anyone else coming, and if our team has any pressure onto their team. So for the matter of getting more stacks, we're gonna run down here because it seems like this is gonna. Oh wait, no. She's actually gonna push up here. So I want to go up here. I want to get these stacks, and I want to push her back. And our team starts to have started to lose a couple of fights now, so we might have to consider teaming up and actually going for team fights. But that's the thing with Nasus, he's not bad in a team fight either. So we're really not in a bad state. I know they just lost a fight. We're probably going to lose a mid turret. I'm not going to be able to do anything about that whatsoever. But I'm just going to get a couple of stacks here as my team rests again. Okay, let's see. We won't be able to get the rift. That's too late. Should have done that earlier. As I got the first turret down, I should have focused the rift and got that one. And she just runs away. You can just see how freaking scared she is. I'm going to go up here. And we're going to get these stacks, and we're just going to start slowly pushing forward. Get that one. That one, and... Alright, so we need to make sure that we don't get ganked by 5 people once again. Like, I think 2 to 3 people will definitely be able to solo. Depending on who, but... let's try and avoid those situations for as much as possible. So right now we have 2 people there, meaning there are 3 unaccounted for. Okay, I see 4 people down there now, so we can push. And I think we're just gonna pop our ult just to get off those queues a bit faster. Make sure we get all the stacks. And that's a turret. So now everybody's unaccounted for, one dead, so we could have 4 people coming up here. So we're just gonna go in here, stacks on some of their jungle instead. Make sure you lasted everything on your Q. There you go, and we're just gonna sit here, stack up, and wait till the wave is either shoved forward or we have better vision of where people are. So right here, we're gonna just sit, chill, get some stacks. There we go. And another one. So we're getting close to 500 stacks. We are a bit off schedule. I did want to be around 600 stacks, but since I had 2 major fails, then we got a bit off schedule, but we're slowly catching up now. And as you guys see, we have so much cooldown reduction, so we can just spam our Q more or less. And that's where you want to go. You want to be in this position. We have 2 people accounted for, and there's 3. Okay, so there are 4 down there right now. We're actually gonna be able to push inhibitor turret now. So that's what we're gonna go for. Because I see 4 people. Depending on how quickly they move back, we need to be a little careful. All right, so they're coming up here now, definitely. See 2 people there. We can go in here, and we can actually just meet them with our team. So I'm gonna make sure I remove this. There we go. Really nice by my team also following up. But as I noticed those guys not backing but running back through the jungle, I could just go ahead and meet them. It was kind of risky. There was a good chance I would die, but I would deal enough damage to their team and put enough pressure that I was 100% positive that my team would win that fight. So we have 4 people down now from their team, and we can actually just go ahead and push for a bit more. Hopefully get one of their Nexus turrets down, maybe 2, or even go for... I think maybe another inhibitor turret is a better choice. So let's back out here. Especially because I'm pretty low on mana, so... Oh. Alright, I won't be able to do anything there. We have almost 4,000 gold, so we need to think about backing pretty soon. So let's just take some of their jungle, just so both is removed from them, but also... making sure that we get our stacks off. And these actually also gives a lot of stacks. And we can get this stack. There we go.
Double kill.
Alright, I'm gonna back real quick and then we're gonna TP to this area, I think. Because I have no mana. They have their blue buff coming up soon. I really want to grab that one for myself. But let's get this. We need some extra magic resistance versus those guys. I'm just gonna move this one. And I think we're gonna just TP over here just so we can go steal the blue buff in a second as well. But I want to make sure I get these stacks, especially that big minion. Let's stack this. There we go. And whoop. So we're at 600 stacks now, and we are honestly, we are devastating to their team now. Like there's a very, very low chance that they'll be able to win this game. And yes, our score right now isn't 100% perfect, but we are such a huge threat. And this is just what you want to do on Nasus, and that's why you can also be super consistently carry with this guy, is just due to the fact that it is basically, as you reach this point in the game, it's really difficult for them to do anything to you. And let's just watch this. This is just Nasus in a nutshell. Like, they're trying so hard to do anything. And I can go up here. Let's make sure they won't back. And I don't have my ult for another 40 seconds, so I do need to stay aware of that. There we go. I'm just gonna keep split pushing. And you can basically do this way all the way to plat. Like early plat, you can do this too. You can hard carry most of your games. Of course, you're not gonna have a 100% win ratio, but honestly, you can come pretty close. You can definitely do like 80% pretty consistently if you get really good at him. I haven't played this champion for, yeah, I don't know, a long time, but he's not that hard. Once you just learn to play a little carefully in the beginning, don't take any rushed fights in the start of the game, because honestly that is the only time where you can actually lose with him. Like for real, that's where he's weak. As soon as you reach like later in the game, if you can just stack up to around 150 stacks between level 6 and level 8, then you're gonna win basically versus any champion, like honestly. You can just see this thing here, I'm just chilling. I'm in no way playing perfectly, but we're completely stomping them right now anyway. I'm sitting on 2.2k gold again. We have a lot of stacks, and if we want to play this textbook, we can go down here. We can take the Drake, Baron, then finish. And that's as textbook as we can do it then. But yeah, I hope this gives you kind of an impression of, even with a not perfect game on Nasus, just how strong this champion is. And he's a really good champion for climbing. Especially if your team doesn't really work together, you can carry a lot of the games. And you can split push a lot of the games. So the one thing you really need to keep an eye on with Nasus is looking at your team being like, okay, is it best for me to split push now? Or is it best for me to actually, let's just make, yeah, he's gonna run away, it's fine. I just wanted him to flee. Just think about, is it best for me to help out my team and do team fighting on Nasus now? Or is it best for me to just split push? And that's the most important thing you can do in Nasus, because that's the mistake I see pretty often when I play versus all the Nasus is they're kind of like, they don't know if they should split push or if they should go for the team fights. So pretty often or not, you just see them sitting on and stacking in top lane pretty much all game. And yeah, you know, a lot of games you can actually do that and it's gonna work perfectly fine. But in certain games, you're gonna see that it's not really. Let's just go all in here. I don't even care, man. I'm Nasus. I am Nasus. That's what I'm telling you, dude. I'm Nasus. You're not able to do anything. And this is just like, this is Nasus in a nutshell. It feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You are kind of a god. You are. So yeah. I hope this kind of gave you an impression of how to play Nasus, even though I didn't play him perfectly in any way here. Then it gave you an impression of, first of all, how he works and how to play him, what you want to focus on. And yeah, as you guys see, I think the primary thing you need to focus on when you play Nasus, especially if you are newer at him or you're having a hard time and your win ratio is not really going up, then have a look at, are you always split pushing even when your team is heavily losing? And are you keeping an eye on if the full team, as you guys saw, the full team came up and ganked me. I was not aware of the map at all there. And if that happens to you once, you need to say to yourself, I need to make sure that whenever I split push now, then I account for everyone. So I know how many people potentially could attack me, and you need to try and get an idea of how many people can you solo at once. Like I knew very specifically that I could beat 2 to 3 people on my own, depending on which champions it was. So whenever I accounted for some of the champions, I was like, yeah, you know what? I can push this now. I don't care if they come up here, I'm gonna beat them up. So that's a very, very big portion of playing Nasus. Stack up and yeah, just get very good at stacking and farming. And once you have that settled, then make sure you learn when you should help out your team and team fight, because Nasus is also pretty good in team fights. And when you should split push. Don't just split push mindlessly. That's just a word of advice. But I hope this kind of gave you an idea of whether or not Nasus is a champion for you. So if it's a champion you're considering to play, then you figured out whether or not you should pick him up. Or if it's a champion you've played for a while but been struggling a bit on, then I hope this video was able to help you out and make you a little better at the champion. I really hope so. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to smash that like button. And if you're not already, then make sure to subscribe down underneath. It really means the world to me. It shows me that you guys like the content that I provide and you want to see more of it. So that's gonna ensure that I do a lot more of this stuff. So yeah, that's actually gonna be it for this video. As always, stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.